Let's get started today in what's called crocodile pose. So for that one, you're gonna lay on your stomach, just a little different. So you lay on your stomach, spread your feet out so they're like kind of on the edges of your mat. So you don't want your legs pressing together. You kind of wanna just spread them out comfortably and press the tops of your feet into the ground. Then take your hands, place them on top of one another, and then place your forehead down on your hands. You're just laying on your belly. You can relax your muscles. You don't have to tense anything at this point. Begin to bring your attention to your breath. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, feel your belly and your chest press against your mat. In a nice loud open mouth exhale, sigh your air out. Another deep breath in just like that, in through your nose, fill all the way up. This time seal your lips and exhale back out your nose. Continue breathing here like this, a couple more rounds of breath on your own. Taking very deep breaths in and very slow breaths out. Your next breath in, you can pick up your head. Place your right arm out toward your right side. You can either extend it long or take a gull pose, taking a 90-degree bend in your arm. Then press your left hand into the ground and roll over onto your right side. And then drop your right cheek down to the ground. Take your left foot, place the sole of your left foot on the ground behind your right leg. This is a great way to open up your chest and your shoulders right away. Slowly roll back onto your belly. Extend your left arm out to your left side, either straight out to the side, or you can take a goal post. Press your right hand into the ground and roll over onto your left side, taking the sole of your right foot onto the ground behind your left leg. So you can keep your left cheek on the ground, feeling this nice opening through the left side of your chest and your shoulder. Slowly roll back onto your belly. Bring your legs together to touch behind you and press the tops of your feet down into the ground. Place your hands next to your low set of ribs and cricket your elbows up toward the ceiling. Inhale, baby cobra. Gently lift your chest. Squeeze the back line of your body and press your shoulder blades together behind you. Take one more breath in. Exhale, lower back down. Now press yourself up to a tabletop position. So press your knees down underneath your hips, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly down to the ground, lift your gaze to the wall in front of you. Exhale, cat pose, curl your spine up, gaze between your thighs. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, expand through your collarbones. Exhale, cat pose, press the ground away, spread your shoulder blades apart. And return to a neutral tabletop. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back, and then settle into this position. Take a few rounds of breath to stretch out, maybe bend into one knee, bend into the next. Take your attention to your hands. Point your pointer fingers forward, and then the rest of your fingers will kind of point outwards toward the edges of your mat. As you press your big knuckles down, lift your tailbone up to lengthen your spine. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Step your feet behind your wrists at about hip width distance and drape your torso over your thighs. Option to grab for opposite elbows and sway side to side. You can take a generous bend in your knees here so that your Your belly kind of presses against your thighs. Release any tension in your low back. Drop your arms back down to the ground. Toe heel your feet together to touch, leaving just a sliver of space between your heels. Inhale, slowly roll up to stand, stepping one vertebrae on top of the next. No rush to get to the top. Whenever you do, you can flutter your eyes closed or soften your gaze. Press your palms together at your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Find length in your body. Nice strong breath back out your nose. Drop your arms down to your sides. You can flutter your eyes open. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your arms overhead. Breathe here for a moment. Firmly root down through all corners of your feet. Then take your pinkies and spiral them inward. So you can even press your palms together over your head to make sure that your pinkies are inward toward one another. Take one more breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Dive down through heart center, hinging from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, press your palms to your shins or thighs and flatten out your spine. Shift your weight into the ball mounds of your feet. Then pull your shoulder blades up and down your back. Take a breath in. Exhale, high plank. Plant your palms, step your feet back, stack your shoulders over wrists and heels over toes. Inhale, shift forward 2 inches. Exhale, low plank, lower down halfway. Keep your elbows pinned into your sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of your feet. Shine your chest forward and straighten your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Engage your core to lift your hips up and back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step up toward your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms up overhead, pinkies in. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands together at your heart. Drop your arms down to your sides. Inhale, mountain pose. Extend your arms up toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Nice deep breath out as you lower down. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, high to low plank. You can always skip these or take them on your knees if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, mountain pose. Extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands together at your heart. Drop your arms to your sides. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, ride your breath all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Engage your core to flatten your back. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take whichever variation you want. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. Press your palms down into your mats. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Flex your right toes down to the ground and squeeze your right butt cheek. Breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. Now press all of your weight down into your right foot. Inhale, standing L. Lift your back leg up off of the ground. So you're balancing on your front leg, but you can keep your fingers tented on the ground to help stabilize yourself. Flex your left toes down to the ground. Breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your left foot down to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten out your back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend down. Now ground down into your right foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your left knee up in line with your left hip and flex your left toes up toward your face. Take a breath in. Exhale, figure four. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh and sit your hips back nice and low, feeling this nice deep opening in your left hip as you sit your hips back a little bit further. Inhale, one-legged mountain, rise back up. Exhale, low lunge. Hinge your torso forward and down and slowly lower your left leg to the back of your space. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hinge your torso straight up and reach your arms overhead. Breathe here. This is just like a lunge in your front leg. Your back heel is lifted in crescent lunge. So lift your back heel over your back toes and stack your front knee over your front ankle. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Spiral your back foot down and open your hips to the left side of your space. Gaze over your right fingertips. You can take a few bends and straightens into your right knee to sink into this. Feel your hips open up a little bit more. Your back foot should be about parallel with the short end of your mat and your right toe is pointing forward. Inhale, reverse warrior. Extend your right arm up and back. High five the back wall with your right palm. Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms down. Step your right leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Flip the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Continue to press even weight between your palms and squeeze your left butt cheek with another breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot between your hands. Now press all of your weight down into your left foot. Inhale, standing L. Lift your right leg up off of the ground behind you. And tense your fingers on the ground to stabilize yourself, help with your balance. But keep your left leg engaged. Another breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Gently drop your right foot down to meet your left and fold over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Now ground down through your left foot this time. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your right knee up in line with your right hip and extend your arms over your head. Flex your right toes up toward your face and then squeeze your left glute to help stabilize. Take a breath in. Exhale, figure four. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and sit your hips back, feeling this nice deep opening in your right hip. Might be a little tight right now, but you'll loosen up as we keep moving. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Press back up to center. Exhale, low lunge. Gently step your right leg to the back of your space and lower your fingers down to frame your left foot. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hinge your torso up. Arms overhead. Pull your right hip point forward and left hip point back to square your hips to the wall in front of you. Option to bring a slight bend to your back knee to make that possible. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Press your back foot down to the ground. Gaze over your left fingertips. Stretching your front knee to the outer edge of your front foot. You can take a few bends and straightens into your left leg if that feels good to kind of sink into this. Come back to a static warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Extend your left arm up and back. Little to no weight in your back hand. Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms down. Step your left leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. All right, we'll flow through this another time, linking breath to movements. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. Ground down through your right foot. Inhale, standing L. Tense your fingers, lift your left leg off of the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your left foot down to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten out your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Release down. Ground down through your right foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your left knee in line with your left hip. Flex your left toes up. Exhale, figure four. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh and sit your hips back. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your left knee up. Exhale, low lunge. Slowly take it as slow as you need. Step to the back of your space and ground your fingertips. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hinge your torso up, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Open up your hips to the left side of your space. Inhale, reverse warrior. Maintain the bend in your front knee. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms down. Step your right foot back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Straighten your arms. Relax your shoulders down your back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot between your palms. Inhale, standing L. Lift your right foot off of the ground and tense your fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, bend down, ground down to your left foot. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your right knee in line with your right hip, arms overhead. Exhale, figure four, cross your right ankle over your left thigh and sit your hips back. Inhale, one-legged mountain, lift up. Exhale, low lunge, hinge your torso forward and down and step your right leg gently to the back of your space. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up, deep bend in your left knee. Exhale, warrior two, press your back foot down, gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale, reverse warrior, extend your left arm up and back. Exhale, high to low plank, cartwheel your arms down, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your tailbone up and back. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow and controlled breath out. We're going to flow through this one more time, but taking a few changes here and there. So listen up for little changes as we go. Inhale, kick your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your palms. Inhale, standing L. Lift your left leg off of the ground. Now breathe here for a moment. Flex your left toes down. Keep your left butt cheek engaged. Now from here, we'll take airplane. So you can either bring your hands together at your heart or fly your arms to your sides, lifting your pinkies up toward the ceiling. Wherever you're at, keep your core engaged. So snap your belly button up into your spine. This will help stabilize. One more breath in. One more breath out. Now from here, very slowly, inhale, one-legged mountain. Hinge up and lift your left knee up in line with your left hip. Great, we're gonna take that transition another time. So you can either go back to airplane with your arms at your sides or hands at heart center, so you can choose. Take a breath in. Exhale, airplane pose. Hinge your torso forward, either hands together at your heart or fly your arms up next to your hips. Inhale, one-legged mountain, lift back up, left knee up in line with your hip. Exhale, figure four, cross your left ankle over your right thigh and sit your hips back. Pause here a moment. Maybe take your hand down to your left knee and very gently press it down to further open through your left hip if you're craving that. Inhale, one-legged mountain, rise back up. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Your right thigh should be kind of burning right now. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, warrior two, open up your hips. Inhale, reverse warrior, extend your right arm up and back. Exhale, high to low plank. Cartwheel your arms down, step your right foot back. Inhale, upward facing dog, press your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your palms. Inhale, standing L, kick your right foot up off of the ground and tense your fingers and breathe here. So keep your right toes flexed down toward the ground, keep your right glute engaged. Now from here, you can either press your palms together at heart center or you can keep them on the ground if you choose. Or we can take airplane with arms at your sides, flying your pinkies up toward the ceiling and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now from here, inhale, one-legged mountain, nice and slow. Hinge your torso up and lift your right knee in line with your right hip. Good job, Sam. Arms up overhead, keep your foot flexed. We'll take this transition another time. Exhale, airplane pose, either hands together at your heart, or you can fly your arms by your sides. Take it as slow as you need. Keep your core engaged. Your core is where this balance comes from. Inhale, one-legged mountain, hinge back up, right knee in line with your right hip. Exhale, figure four, cross your right ankle over your left thigh and sit your hips back. Breathe here a moment. Let this feel good in your right hip. Take just an extra breath here to sink into this hip stretch. Inhale, one-legged mountain, lift back up. Exhale, low lunge, very gently step your right leg to the back of your space and drop your fingers down to the ground. Inhale, crescent lunge, hinge your torso up, arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two, spiral your back foot down, gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale, reverse warrior, extend your left palm up and back. Exhale, high to low plank, send your arms down to the ground, step your left leg back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift your thighs up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. Drop down to your knees. Press your big toes together. Widen your knees out to the width of your space and sink your hips back for child's pose. Drop your forehead down to the ground. Focus on deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Re-regulating your breath. Count the length of your inhales and then match that amount of time for your exhales. Take one more deep breath in. One more slow breath out. On your next inhale, press up to a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Step your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand. So your right foot can come to the very outer edge of your mat, or maybe even off your mat if you want. And then drop your left knee down onto your mat. From here, sink into this however you'd like. You can roll over onto the outer edge of your right foot to open up your hip a little bit more. Option to drop down to your forearms for a few breaths. Now today for the quad stretch, you want some more extension through your left hip and some opening in your left quad. Press your left palm down to the ground. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Bend your left knee, and then take your right hand behind you and capture your left foot with your right hand. And then pull your left heel toward your left glute to really stretch your left quad. If you have the quad stretch, slowly release it. Press your palms back down into the ground. Come to an active runner's lunge. Lift your left knee up off of the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, high plank. Step your right leg back to the back of your mat. Ground down to your left palm. Inhale, side plank. Extend your right arm up toward the ceiling. Option to drop down to your left knee for support. If you're back, or press your bottom hand into the ground and lift your hips up a little bit higher. Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank. Plant your right palm and then flow through an optional chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Straighten your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Walk your left foot to the outer edge of your left hand and then drop your right knee down to the ground. Again, while we're first sinking into this, take whatever you want. You can drop down to your forearms. You can open up your hip. Continue to focus on your breathing. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Use your exhales to sink a little bit deeper into this stretch and let go of any tension you're hanging on to. Now for the quad stretch, place your right hand down into your mat. Extend your left arm up toward the ceiling. Bend your right knee and kick your right foot into your right glute. And then take your left hand and grab for your right foot. Pull your right foot toward your right glute to stretch through your right quad. You have the quad stretch, slowly release it. Place your left palm back down on the ground. Come to an active runner's lunge. So tuck your back toes, lift your right knee off the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, high plank. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Ground down through your right palm. Inhale, side plank. Extend your left arm up toward the ceiling. Option again to drop to your bottom knee for support. Think about lifting your top arm nice and high. Hips up a little bit higher. Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank. Plant your palm, flow through a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, keep your right heel high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your palms. Inhale, standing L. Launch your left foot off of the ground. Now from here, exhale, airplane pose. We've been here before. You can take hands together at heart center or fly them up by your side. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Inhale, one-legged mountain, hinge up. So a little bit more practice with that transition. Now from here, exhale, dancer pose. Drop your left elbow into your left side and grab for your left foot, your inner arch. You can stay here with your knees together, upright, or if you want to take it further, breath in. Exhale, full dancer, hinge forward, extend your right arm up toward the ceiling. So kick as hard as you can into your back hand. Feel this nice opening in your left chest and shoulder, and in your left hip flexors. Now slowly with control, stay strong. Inhale, one-legged mountain, come back through center. Lift your arms up to frame your face. Exhale, figure four, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, sit your hips back. Inhale, one-legged mountain, rise up. Exhale, Samasthiti, drop your left foot down to the ground, hands together at your heart. Now ground down through your left leg this time. Inhale, tree pose on the right. Lift the sole of your right foot to your inner left calf or up on your inner left thigh. Giving your right leg a little bit of break from standing on it. And press your palm together at your heart or take whatever arm variation you'd like today. Maybe you lift your arms up over your head and then gaze up toward your hands to really challenge your balance. Press your left leg into your right foot as hard as you can. One more breath in. And exhale, Samasthiti, drop your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, mountain pose, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your spine. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, always optional. You can always take them on your knees as well. Inhale, upward facing dog, relax your shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips up and back. Inhale, keep your left heel high. Exhale, low lunge, step your left foot between your palms. Inhale, standing L, launch up onto your front leg, lift your right leg off of the ground. And exhale, airplane pose, either hands together at your heart or fly your arms by your sides and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your right toes flexed toward the floor. Now inhale, one-legged mountain, lift your torso up, right knee in line with your right hip. Bet you love that transition by now. Now this time, exhale, dancer pose on the right. Drop your right elbow into your right side, grab for the inner arch of your right foot. So the inner eye of your elbow faces out toward the right side. You can stay here if you'd like. If you'd like to take it further, breath in. Exhale, dancer pose, hinge your torso forward, kick really hard into your back hand. Continue reaching up with your left hand. Expand through your chest, but square your hips down toward the ground. Now keep that left leg strong. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Slowly release your back foot. And lift your right knee up in line with your right hip. Exhale, figure four. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and sit your hips back. Should feel pretty nice here. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Lift your right knee up in line with your hip. Exhale, Samasthiti, drop your right foot, hands together at your heart. Ground down through your right foot. Inhale, tree pose on the left. Connect the sole of your left foot to your inner right calf or up on your inner right thigh. Just avoid your knee at all costs. You can place your hands again wherever you'd like. If you're working on something new with your arms, go right ahead. Gently press your pelvis forward a little bit and tuck your tailbone. And as you do that, you should feel your left leg kind of move back a little bit. So it's a further external rotation through your left hip, your left leg. One more breath in. Exhale, Samasthita. Drop your left foot down to the ground, hands together at your heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your arms up, pinkies inward. Exhale, forward fold, dive down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten out your spine. Exhale, high to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine your chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. Take a nice deep breath in, and a nice deep breath out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come down to a seat. All right, let's take a couple minutes of playtime today. So you can take whatever you want to work on. You can work on more balancing if you want. If you want to do crow pose, I'll demo that. So for crow pose, again, you can do whatever you want. You can take headstand, you can do anything you want. You can take child's pose. So for crow pose, spread your hands out really wide, so really wide base here. And then lift your hips up nice and high and walk your feet close to your wrists. Bend your knees and bend your elbows so that your knees connect as high up on your triceps as you can get them. From here, shift your weight forward and lift your gaze. Super important to lift your gaze and really shift your weight forward. You can put a pillow in front of you if you're scared. That always helps because then you'll fall onto something soft if you do fall. So as you shift your weight forward, look up and then squeeze your belly button up into your spine as tight as you can. That abdominal lock that you feel when you squeeze your belly button up is really what's going to keep you balanced in this posture. But don't forget to breathe. Continue breathing and focusing on deep breaths in and out. So we'll play around for about 1 more minute. You can take whatever you want. Just a little bit of free time. So whenever you're done playing around, no rush. We'll meet in child's pose. In child's pose, take a nice deep breath in. Deep breath out, sink your hips down further toward your heels. Your next inhale, rise to a tabletop position. From your tabletop, step your feet back to a high plank. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Squeeze your forearm nice and tight. Then nice and slow and controlled, lower all the way down to your belly. When you're down on your belly, untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet down. Cricket your elbows up. Inhale, baby cobra. Gently lift your chest. Magnetize your shoulder blades together. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower down. Lower your left cheek down to the ground. Arms down by your sides. Just relax into the floor. Return your chin to center. Kick your heels up into your glutes. Grab for the outer edges of your feet or your ankles, whatever you prefer here. Let's take floor bow. So knock your knees together as tight as you can. And then again, squeeze your shoulder blades together so you're squeezing the back line of your body. Inhale, floor bow. Kick your feet into your hands as hard as you can. Expand through your chest and your shoulders. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, very slowly lower back down to the ground. Release your right cheek down to the ground. You can extend your legs long, or if you want to windshield wiper your legs, bend your knees to 90 degrees and then gently drop your heels to one side and then the other. Sometimes that feels nice. Releases some tension from your back. So press your palms down into the ground. Press yourself up to standing on your knees. And then flip over onto your butt. Take seated forward fold. Extend your legs straight out in front of you and point your toes up toward the ceiling. You can remove any flesh from underneath your sit bones. That will help you hinge a little further. Take a nice deep breath in. Find length. Exhale, seated forward fold. Compress your chest over your thighs. grab for whatever you can, whether that be your feet, your toes, your shins. Your next inhale, rise back up. Press the soles of your feet together to touch. And then you can take your heels as close or as far away from your body as you like. For more of a hip opening, pull your heels as close as you can. And then you can either stay upright and grab the bottoms of your feet and just feel your hips opening from here. If you want to hinge forward, you can do that. Maybe let your elbows press out toward the sides and drop your knees a little bit closer toward the earth. And you can drop your chin toward your toes or the crown of your head toward your toes. You can choose whatever variation you like today. Maybe play around with something new if you want. If you are hinging down, slowly rise back up. Take the sole of your right foot and press it toward like the middle of your space. Take your left foot underneath your right leg, and then take your left foot over toward your right hip. We'll take this called half or the fishes. And then take your right foot and cross it over your left knee. So your left knee should kind of be in the middle, and then your right foot over to the side. If this doesn't feel good, you can keep your right foot over on the right side of your leg. Take your left arm, extend your left arm up toward the ceiling, twist your torso to the right, and then drop your right arm on the outer side, or your left arm rather, on the outer side of your right thigh. And then from here, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper, maybe gaze over your right shoulder. And slowly unwind from the pose. Switch out your sides. Press the sole of your left foot about the middle of your space. Take your right foot underneath your left leg, all the way over toward your left hip. From here, you can take your left foot and cross it over your right leg. Again, if this doesn't feel nice, you can keep it on the left side of your right leg. And then extend your right arm up toward the ceiling. Twist your torso to the left. Then exhale, drop your right arm on the outer side of your left thigh. From here, nice deep breath in. Exhale, twist your torso. So press your left leg toward the midline of your body. And then the option to gaze over your left shoulder. Slowly release from the pose, unwind, come back to center. Press the soles of both feet down into the ground and recline down to your back. When you're down on your back, pull your knees into your chest, grab for the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. Pull your knees down toward your side body, stamp the soles of your feet on the ceiling, and then press your low back down into the ground. If you're a little tight today, maybe grab for behind your thighs instead, and then push your low back into the ground that way. Whatever you want today, as long as your low back stays down. Draw your knees into center, wrap your forearms around your shins, roll up into one tiny little ball, lift your forehead up to your knees, squeeze every muscle to every bone, take a breath in. Exhale, Shavasana, let your arms and legs go long. Let your body fall into whatever position it pleases. Just let your feet fall heavy. Release any tension from the bottoms of your feet, your toes. Release any tightness in your legs, in your hips. Feel your belly rise and fall with the natural rhythm of your breath. Just letting go of any breathing techniques and coming back to your natural breath. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Place your hands wherever's comfortable, palms up, palms down, over your belly, wherever you'd like. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And relax the muscles in your forehead. Let's enjoy another minute of rest here. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you'd like to be guided out tonight, begin to bring small movements to your fingers and your toes. Roll out your ankles and your wrists. Take a nice long body stretch. Extend your arms overhead. Point your toes. Draw your knees into your chest, then rock onto either your right or your left side, using your bicep as a pillow for fetal pose. Press yourself up to a nice tall seat. You can place your hands on your knees in your lap or at heart center. Just keep a nice straight, tall spine. We'll finish with a breath. Exhale out any stale air in your lungs. Take a nice deep, full breath in. Feel your belly expand, your chest expand. Then hold your breath in at the top. Open mouth, exhale, sigh your air out, nice and strong. Lift your thumbs up to your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows and your forehead. The light in me honors and sees the light in all of you. Bow forward. Namaste.
Namaste.
Good job, Sam.
Thanks,
You killed it.
Yes.
Thanks, Emily.
Ankles are sore. That was a hard one.